Segue.
Reload the track, JD.
Alright guys, I just got to Houston. There's my dog Derek over there. So along this vlog, I'm gonna just be, doing little segments. So this is the perfect example. Scope out the scene and find something that you're into. That's gonna be the very first thing. So by example, like I'm in the credit industry. My dog Derek over there is in the trading industry, right? So it's gonna be different. You may like e-commerce. Your friend may like breeding dogs. Whatever the case may be, scope the scene and find what you're into.
Chart of what price can do and what I'm looking for price to do. And then the best thing about me again is right here. I tell, hey, Nas is gonna buy from two spots, right? It can buy right here at 740, or it can come down all the way down here and buy.
My dog is not playing. He done brought his back ends out, man. What you gotta say to him?
Easy. Day trading, you cannot beat this shit, bro. I just withdrew 10,000. Well, this is actually 20, but I withdrew 10,000 back to back. You know what I'm saying? Showing people how to get to the bag. Easy money, bro.
Drop your IG name.
IG is Legendary Drek, man. Follow me. If you wanna learn how to do this for yourself, follow me. Showing you how to get to it.
So what's good, guys? We are currently on the way to go meet my dog Leo. Some business. Is actually about to be our first time meeting in person. He's another big person in the credit industry. There's 3 ways that you can make 100,000. One of the most common ways is, for what everybody see is kind of like being like the source, right? Being the source of the product, being like the face of the business, face of the brand. But you don't always got to be that to make a lot of money. That's just kind of like what everyone sees. A lot of people don't really see like the back end work and things like that. See, me, by example, I would be considered, the face of my company, right? I'm considered like the face of my company, meaning, people it's my business, but I do a lot of work for other companies where I'm kind of like considered like the back end. But that is one way where you can basically make 100,000, 225 just by simply being a source, starting yourself your own company. And what I'm also going to do is I'm gonna drop like 3 different variations, but what I'm also gonna do as I'm dropping these variations, I'm also going to discuss like the pros and cons of doing that, right? So the pro of being the face is obviously you get all the credit, you get all the credibility, you get all the credibility, you get the authority. It basically just it's like you're like that highlighted figure. It's good for networking. I have other friends that are sources, and they tell me about it. And normally the source normally gets like a huge chunk of the money normally, right? Normally this isn't always the case, but normally the source makes the most money because they are the ones in charge. They are, like all the money is kind of basically like going basically through them. So that is another pro. A con of being the source is, by example, me, I have a lot of employees, right? But when my employees mess up, everything is fell back on me. It makes me look bad. Whenever something's not right, it's always with me. It's extreme. Like being the source, you're constantly under extreme pressure. It is your company. It is your face card. It is, you have to have a very high stress tolerance to be a source, and make a lot of money. You can be the source and make a little bit of money and not have that much stress, but if you want to, be at that, at 6-figure month mark, it's gonna deal with a lot of stress. Honestly, I would say that's probably like the main con. Everything falling back on you, and then just like the stress level, like the stress of everything, honestly. And also too, like sometimes you gotta be the bearer. I don't know if I'm saying that right, the bearer of bad news. Hence, like, let's say your employee, like, example, let's say your employee do something bad, or let's say something happens, or let's say something doesn't go through because your employee. Now, sometimes you gotta tell a partner or tell a client or something that something didn't go through, and now you, like, nobody's not gonna quote unquote punish you, but it's like sometimes you put partnerships at risk. Sometimes you put certain things at risk, and you're like, damn, like I didn't want to lose this, or damn, like it's your company. You have to take the fault. You have to take the blame for every single thing. So that's another thing about being a source. Like I said, I am gonna drop pros and cons. I'm on the way to dinner right now. I'm gonna be dropping these throughout the vlog. So just stay tuned, man. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. So I got my dog, man.
Yeah,
What you do? What you do?
I do car rentals, bro. So yeah, I supply people in Houston with hella cars. So it's like the whole fleet is like probably like 40 something. About to be 50.
Solid. Tell them what you do, brother.
Shit, I'm the Spanish credit guy, man. I do credit repair and I help people with their credit basis in the Spanish industry. The #1 in the nation in the Spanish space. Me.
So yeah, man, we about to just chop it over some business real quick. I just want to kind of get them in a vlog, but yeah, I'm gonna pick up the camera later. In this video, man, the second thing that I'm going to be talking about on how you can make $100,000 in 2025 is simply becoming a middleman. You guys know the first thing I talked about becoming the source, but becoming a middleman can be a vital part of you making $100,000 as well, simply because you don't have to pay for the product. You don't got to pay for the mentorship. These are the pros. You don't got to pay for the mentorship. You don't got to pay for the product. You don't got to pay for the service, anything like that. You're simply finding someone who's doing something at a high level, and then you just bringing them leads, right? So you've proven, for one, you are connecting with a high-level individual, and then you are bringing them value. So you are growing your network and your income at the same time. So that is a second way to do it. I feel like being a middleman is cool. The only con is, let's say if you are not the source, that individual that, let's say you selling a fucking $1 million offer and is doing well, that individual can kind of like cut you off at any given time, and then that can kind of like shut your income off, which I don't think they'll do that, simply because you are bringing them more money. But I'm just saying that's kind of like a con, like you don't have that much control over the business. There's really not too many cons because you're not putting no money up front. It's all pros, but the second con is you may not be able to make as much money as the owner, so basically as the source. So that's another con. But yeah, man, I'm gonna continue this vlog, and then I'm gonna drop the third one, which let's get it. All right, guys, this is the very next day. We're still in Houston. Got my dog Ian here with me, man. This is another individual in the credit industry, killing it, a young entrepreneur. Drop some game on it real quick.
Yeah, man. Man, just stay consistent, man. Follow people who have the results that you want, bro. And just listen, bro. That's all I'm doing.
You gotta be coachable, man. So, this video is titled 3 Ways to Make $100,000 in 2025. The first thing I said was be the source. Then I broke down the pros and cons of being a source. Then the second thing I said, be the middleman. Then I broke down the pros and cons of being a middleman. Now the third thing I'm going to talk about is being the backend guy, being the systems guy, right? So that means being a backend guy, being a system guy, that doesn't mean you're the source. That doesn't mean you're the middleman. You're the backend guy, right? And that is another individual who can make a shit ton of money, whether you run like build and release programs, or you helping other people scale their existing companies. Meaning, like, by example, let's say someone who needs to be better at ads, or who needs ads ran, or someone who needs work on their offer, or someone who just needs help in general. It really doesn't matter, you feel me? As long as you helping them scale their business, you be the backing guy. And you can do a build and release program where they pay you a flat, basically fixed rate of, by example, let's say someone pay you $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. It just depends on who you are, what you've done, the results you've shown. But you help them, you put everything, you build out their SOPs, you build out, the structure of their business, and you put everything in place for them to just like run it on their own. That is kind of like a build and release program. Or you can work on a percentage on the revenue that they're making, right? So meaning, like, okay, you hop in their business, you tag along, so you helping them scale. But now, like, okay, now you making let's say you run the ads for them, XYZ. Now you're making 10%, 20% of all the revenue. So that's another business. Or that's another way that you could do it, to where it's like, okay, you're not the face of the business, like, so no one even knows who you are, and you're not a middleman because you're not bringing more people to them. You just running this person's, you just helping them put the pieces together, right? You see someone got a good face card, you see they got a lot of potential, you like the offer, and then you just come in and you helping them build and grow their business. You helping them accomplish their dreams, but you're getting heavily compensated for that as well. The pros of that is your face card is basically never at risk unless you like really like scam someone, as far as like you just take their money and don't, you know, fulfill the service. So like, you know, a lot of things really can't go too wrong in that industry, I feel like. Another pro is you can kind of like network and maneuver. Like, it can allow you to build up your network with other entrepreneurs, and then you can help them. Like, you can have like you can have like multiple different clients, helping them scale, and you can make like a big bag that way. And it's just like you damn near, you just like a freelancer. Like, I know some people be calling like freelance brand scaling and shit. You freelancing. So that's kind of like a pro. You're not really like tied down to it, because when you're the source, that's your company, you are tied down to it. The con is it can maybe be hard to build up off the ground in the beginning. Another con is that person you working with, their budget, they may not have the biggest budget, or you really may not know what's really going on in their business, as far as like how much bread they bringing in, or how much they really got to spend. Third, you don't know if these people are like burning bridges, all type of shit that could affect your revenue, because you will be getting a percentage of the whole piece of the pot. So I would say those kind of like the only cons. And another con is like someone can just like kick you off and replace you whenever they please. So you probably could spend like late nights trying to sketch or, you know, brainstorm ideas to help their company scale, and then the whole time they looking for someone else to replace you for. But that's just business. It's nothing personal, it's just business. So that is another con. But I just gave you guys 3 ways that you can make $100,000 in 2025, guys. I'm currently still in Houston. I'm gonna keep dropping these videos for you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. See you guys at the top, because the boss is not out. I'm gone.